So, this is going to be a little bit different of a video, but I've been sitting here drawing for the past couple hours, and I don't know. I just guess I wanted to talk about it a little bit. For those of you who don't know, my name's Noah. I'm an artist and an author. I do stuff like this. This is a drawing of my capital city as seen in my debut novel, of Stone and Steel, coming out here in the next couple weeks. But what I've been thinking about since I've been sitting here drawing is, over the course of my life, I have seen a lot of people attempt to do very particularly ambitious things. I grew up as a very competitive athlete, and, after I graduated high school, I enlisted in the Army, I joined Special Operations, and a lot of the people that I saw growing up kind of carried the same mentality I saw in my career there, and, now I'm publishing these books, and I do my art, and I show my art in galleries now, and I think that a lot of the times what you hear hyper successful people give advice as, or when you hear people try to motivate others, they give them this idea that you should endeavor to achieve with a sense of absolute success. People go in to trying to accomplish their goals saying that I will succeed, I will not fail, failure is not an option. Not everybody. It's just a pervasive mindset that I've kind of seen as people endeavor to, live and to achieve greatness. And I think that it's a little unhealthy. And I've just kind of been sitting here thinking about that for a little bit. And I think that it's a little bit unhealthy because I think that it places such an oppressive amount of pressure on something so fragile, like this idea. I mean, if you're just starting out painting, that's something that I'm familiar with. If you're just starting out as a painter and you have, you're an ambitious person, you just got into painting and you have these grandiose ideas of becoming, the next Monet or Rothko or Da Vinci, and you're really passionate about painting, and you say that I will succeed, I will make a name for myself, I will not fail. I think that when you inevitably struggle along the process, because you will, in order to master anything, it's just kind of a constant state of struggling to get better, especially at its infancy when you're just beginning the craft. This idea that I will succeed, it's a guarantee, can just, in my mind, it seems like it would feel so unattainable. And I've just never really understood that mindset, Now, if you were to just change one word, say that, I could succeed. I could be the next Da Vinci, Monet, I could be the next Tolkien, Sanderson, Rothfuss. I mean, I think that that's a much more, I don't know, I guess I just think that that's a much more healthy outlook on life, I guess, and on achieving your goals, because, we give every foe, we give every opponent the respect that they deserve. You could succeed, but you could also fail. If I'm hopping on the mat with somebody and I'm getting ready for a roll or getting ready for a fight, obviously there's certain amount, there's certain empirical factors that will dictate what I believe the conclusion of said fight will be. Their skill, my skill, obviously, but anything can really happen in regards to anything. I could get, tapped out by a 3-week white belt. I could beat a 15-year black. It's just, we can start to discuss probability, but anything could happen. And I think that there's something a little bit beautiful in that. And I think that that's so much more motivating to me, at least, than this idea that it's a guarantee that you will succeed, because we all know it's not true. Anyone with half a brain understands that failure is possible. And I think that just kind of feeding yourself with this illusion under the guise of like motivation and healthiness just has a potential to be extremely destructive. And it's just something that I've been thinking about as I've been kind of sitting here. I'm on the precipice of publishing my first book, and I've been so intentional with my drawings and with my writing and just the way that I've published this thing, and I know that I could fail. Like, I know that people might not enjoy it. I know that it just might not be as incredible as I think it is. And I think that that's okay. I mean, there's no one out there that's going to believe that my book is as incredible as I think it is. It's my book. It's my baby. I've worked so hard on it. And but that's okay. And even if people don't think it's half as great as I do, that's still a possibility. But I mean, I also get to sit here and believe that it could be one of the next icons of literature. It might. Maybe I've just written something that people will talk about in hundreds of years. That's kind of one of the things that drives my art. And, maybe not. That's also equally, if not more so, that's more possible that my name will fade into nothingness, and that's okay. I do this stuff because I love it. And I don't know. I just feel like it's so much easier for me to motivate, and it's so much easier for me to create without all of the pressure, I guess, of needing to achieve my goal. I do have goals. I would love to be, a world famous author or a world famous artist. But if that doesn't happen, then it's just not the end of the world. That's really not why I do this. And I'm still going to work at it. I'm still going to attempt it. And I'm still going to try just as hard as... Okay. That was going to be an unproductive train of thought, so I apologize. But I am going to still try very, very hard, and I'm going to do this the right way. Well, I'm going to do this my way, which a lot of people are arguing is not the right way. But... is what it is. And yeah, I don't know. Like, that's just kind of what I've been thinking about as I've been sitting here doodling away. Yeah, I'm fiddling with my knife. This is my comfort knife. And like, I stopped drawing like probably an hour ago, and I've just kind of been thinking about this. Not for any reason. Like, this is, by the way, this is obviously my opinion. Like, there's guys out there that have achieved far greater things than I ever will. That are all about the grind and all about the, you can't ever, like, it's not possible to fail, and, maybe it works for them. If it does, that's excellent. That's super, super wonderful. I don't claim to be the arbiter of knowledge and wisdom. If you came here looking for objectivity and worldview, if you came here looking for the right answers, I don't have them. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to... Ultimately, I'm here to plug my book and get everybody excited for my book, but also I'm here to share my process, and it's a far from perfect process. I'm not here to, like, project anything onto the unassuming folks of the internet. But, that being said, that's just something that I've been thinking about, and I do believe that it's kind of a big part of... I'd say it's a big part of my process. Yeah. So maybe it's relevant. I don't know. Like, this certainly isn't like a particularly original thought. I feel like you could find this stated far more articulately elsewhere, but this is how I'm saying it now. So, I mean, I guess thanks for watching, Yeah.